Hello my royal lovelies, welcome back to the channel, welcome to my home. We are in the kitchen today. I thought I'd just have a bit of a coffee morning chat with you all because there are lots of royal stories to catch up on. I don't quite know where to start, to be honest. I'm wearing a new pearl pendant today. I hope you like it. It's quite a large pearl. Spring is definitely springing here in the UK, so I thought the replica of Queen Elizabeth's flower basket brooch would be highly appropriate for today. Right, I want to kind of kick off, because we've got so many stories, I want to kick off with where we left off, which was, of course, the launch of Meghan's brand. And I'm still trying to get my tongue around the name. American Riviera Orchard. And someone said, Orchard isn't part of the name. It is. It's American Riviera Orchard. That is what is on the Instagram. That is what was on the video that she released. That short, really weird sort of 15-second clip of her fiddling with some flowers and then sprinkling something into a bowl and then standing in a black dress, all, I don't know, ominously, I should say. And then, my goodness, anyway, I hope you saw my parody video that I did. I'm not actually launching a brand. Maybe I should. Maybe British Riparian Kitchen Garden should be a brand. Would you buy from my brand? Anyway, it's been a few days now and it's been able to sink in about Meghan's brand. And I just think it is the most awful branding, marketing that you could possibly do. The name is still a mouthful. It's still hard for people to get to grips with which order the words go around. There's too many words. It's definitely word salad, to put it mildly. And that logo, it's basically just a complete load of scribble. It's almost as if she got Archie and Lily to sort of sit there with their Crayola and draw mommy a logo. And that is what came up. So it's not very good branding. Now, I checked back the Instagram account. So this is after, maybe 4 or 5 days? 540 something thousand followers as of making this video. So it's not been the rip-roaring success, for example, that Sussex Royal was when that Instagram launched. So if you kind of look at the speed of how they are accumulating followers, there is definitely a net loss in terms of how fast Sussex Royal grew when they were members of the British royal family, working members, I should say, as opposed to now, sort of post-Megxit. So it's definitely not gone as well as what I think Meghan thought it was going to. They are not using their titles on the brand. I saw some people on social media saying they're using their titles, using the HRH. She's using Duchess of Sussex, but she's not using the HRH, which is very much in line with the Sandringham Agreement. But obviously we know that they are using Meghan's royal cipher or crest, if you like, on their official sort of landing page, sussex.com. And we'll get back to sussex.com in a moment because we'll talk about the royal family website. So I don't think the launch has gone particularly well, and I don't think it's particularly good to sort of launch a brand without any sort of product or service for people to buy. They've just sort of launched it, and then what? There's nothing going on. You can't actually do anything. So do I think it will be a success long term? I think in the short term, there will be people, especially the people that really support and follow Harry and Meghan, they will buy into it. That is, of course, if they can afford the price point. It's being pitched as luxury. Now, we all know that luxury means expensive. So, I think there'll be a few followers saving their pennies and buying the initial product. So the initial product run, whatever it is, I think will probably sell quite well. The issue with this brand is its longevity. How will it sustain? Okay, so they have an initial run, people might buy into it, then what? what comes after. It's a little bit like, I suppose, the Spotify podcast, for example. You know, seemingly in terms of numbers, it seemed to do well on the Spotify charts, although I do think that it was a little bit inflated, probably by Spotify itself, to make it look like it was sort of a good investment. But then we saw Spotify dropping them like hot coals, which kind of proves that the proof is in the pudding, and it did not sustain. It wasn't enough. So initially, I think there will be people buying into it. Will it be something that people will buy into long term, like, for example, you know, Goop or Fenty or some of the other celebrity brands that have done successfully well? Now, we know that Meghan, you know, had a TIG brand. I mean, maybe she should have just relaunched the TIG. But we know that she's had that. But when she sort of was looking for her next career move, she sort of came to the UK and obviously met Harry. The rest is history. And obviously dumped Piers Morgan like a hot coal, which obviously sparked a lot of resentment from him. Anyway, she was looking for the next move. So the TIG obviously wasn't doing, you know, it wasn't going to take her to the stratosphere, as she now hopes this new brand will. And I'm just not sure. Well, I know that this is not going to be the brand that is going to do that. Also, the timing of it, I can't believe that Harry let Meghan basically harpoon the Diana Awards. I mean, Meghan trying to sabotage William is no surprise, really. You know, everything with the Sussexes is done for timing. They would have waited until this happened. Also, it was the anniversary of the Freedom Flight. So, not by chance. I can't believe that Harry let Meghan harpoon basically the Diana Awards, though, of which Harry himself was having a part in via video link. So basically that kind of almost overshadowed the Diana Awards. Now, obviously in the UK, we still got lots of news about Prince William and his involvement in it. But the talk was about Meghan. She knows how to put on a woo, look at me, woo. I'm shimmying everywhere. And, you know, it did work. She got the attention. But I think it was ill-conceived, because what you don't want to do, again, it's harpooning. You may get the attention, but you are basically harpooning your own image, trying to sabotage the Diana Award, and even sabotage your own husband and overshadow him is not a particularly good move. It's not a good look. Yes, so Meghan's sour orchard, her sour Riviera Orchard, I don't think is going to do very well. It's already gone sour. It's not very well received. And I think it is going to, after maybe an initial, flurry of activity, I think it is going to go and fall into the swamp. Never mind orchard, it's swamp. Also, I want to talk about Meghan's positioning here. Now, we know that Harry and Meghan are kind of breaking away and splitting up in terms of their products, their projects, products, endeavours, commercially. Is this potentially Meghan positioning herself to break away from Harry in total? If the relationship was to break down, it would definitely be in Meghan's interest to have an already established brand going. I mean, of course, this is entirely dependent on how well it does. I think it will tank. But from Meghan's point of view, is she trying to set up to potentially leave Harry, take Archie and Lilibet, basically hold Harry to ransom, and have what she considers to be a huge money-making endeavour behind her. Like I say, I think she's aiming for levels of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, and I think Meghan's American Riviera Orchard is more Augustus Gloop rather than Goop. We are definitely not gooped. We're not gooped and gagged, most definitely not. And also, I wanted to talk about the blur effect on her video. Oh, it was so blurry, you couldn't see anything. I mean, you'd need to hide those chicken legs. My goodness. Hiding behind a blur is not a particularly good move either. Everything's going to be bland, beige, boring, blurry. Ugh, all the bees. Next, I want to talk about Harry and Meghan and the royal family website. So, prior to yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Harry and Meghan still had their own individual kind of profile pages with, I think Harry had over 1,000 words, for example, saying who they were, what work they'd done. And yesterday, the website was updated. I think for about half an hour, they were completely removed, and then a new joint page was put up in its place. So this is restructuring. The royal family has been updating the website since the passing of Her late Majesty, and there are so many pages that it's taking a long time to update. All the references changing over from Queen Elizabeth to King Charles, updating all different profiles, the language and terminology used. It all needs updating, and it was not going to be done instantaneous. So this is something that was in the pipelines for a long time. They finally, eventually got round to doing it. And that's what the palace officially put out, was that it takes a long time to get these things done. So their solution to Megxit was, of course, to combine their profiles as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. They are not using HRH on the official website. That does not mean that King Charles has removed the HRH from them. They still have the HRH. They just are not using it on a day-to-day basis. But for legal forms, legal documents, that kind of thing, they can use the HRH. That has not changed. But it is a significant downgrade for Harry and Meghan to go from having their individual profiles to having a combined one that is about 500 and something words. Definitely condenses and consolidates their position within the royal family that is now greatly reduced. Of course, Harry is still in line to the throne, so he is still worth a mention as the youngest son of the current monarch, but he is right down the bottom. I think, he's right down the bottom with Prince Andrew, for example. So very much in the doldrums, very much degraded right the way down, pushed down to the bottom. Of course, it's all of Harry's own choosing and doing. He chose to step away, do remember that. But there was one curious thing. It links to Sussex.com. It says, if you want to find out about all the current work and activities of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and then it's got Sussex.com, a hyperlink that will take you straight there. And of course, this is the one where Meghan's using her crest. So is it a little bit of an olive branch? Some might say yes. Potentially that came all the way from the top from King Charles. It could even have been a request from Harry, maybe, to link back. But anyway, they've done it. They've linked back. Whoever's choice and decision it was, they have linked back. I personally think it's a wise move because, it kind of shows that from the royal family side, even though they have every right to be upset and to have some animosity towards Harry and Meghan, at least publicly, they are showing support. They are being the bigger person. They have the upper hand. And I think that is important. So being the bigger person, showing that you are the one that's not doing the wrong, I think is a good move for King Charles and the royal family and monarchy as an institution. So I wasn't surprised that the royal family website was updated. I didn't expect it to be a combined profile, and I certainly didn't expect it to link to their endeavours. But here we are in a position where that is exactly what has happened. Okay, next we finally have a sighting. She's broken cover. Catherine is alive. Or is she? I mean, it hasn't quelled speculation. I don't know what is going to quell the speculation. I really don't. Other than Catherine literally holding up a newspaper and going, I'm alive, I'm not a hostage, I'm here. I don't know what's going to work. So we saw a member of the public took a video, and then of course there's a lot of stills being sort of taken from that video. It was from a distance, it was from in a car park, and there were reports over the weekend that Catherine went with William to a farm shop in Windsor, and then there was nothing, and then suddenly this video came out. I think the Sun had a copy of it, and TMZ had a copy of it, and like I said, there was like stills lifted from the video, showing William and Catherine walking from the farm shop back to their cars. And of course, the speculation went rife again, even more conspiracy theories. Was there a body double? Was it William at all? Was it Catherine at all? Had she had surgery? My goodness, the list is absolutely endless. Now, to me, it looks like Catherine. It looks like she's lost even more, even if it's possible for Catherine to have lost more weight, it looks like she's lost weight. Looks like, from those photo and video, that she wasn't wearing terribly too much makeup. But I do think it's my own personal gut feeling and opinion is that it was Catherine. And I think that this was orchestrated. I don't think they called the paps because there wasn't any official paparazzi photographs, but maybe the person who took the video may have been sort of told, I don't know, or it could have just been by chance that she was hoping that a member of the public might take a photo so it didn't look particularly staged, or at least they could, fire off the accusations of it being staged. But however it happened, William was wearing a cap pulled down. William most definitely did not want to be seen, or appears to not want to be seen. Catherine was there with no hat, like I say, seemingly makeup free, sort of strolling, very sort of smiley, happy, face up in the air, almost like she really wanted to be seen. And I think that was the hope, that a member of the public would video or photo, and then it would get back to the press to hopefully prove all the conspiracy theories wrong, shoot people down on social media that are saying that there is this going on, that going on. Did it work? No. There is still all of the conspiracy. People saying it's AI generated, blah, blah, blah. Which takes me back to a few videos ago where before the Photogate, I think I said that maybe what she should have done is a video in the same style as what the King did, of where she was maybe seen going through some of her get well soon cards and just basically saying, hi, thank you so much for all your lovely messages of support. I'm getting better and I will be back to duty in due course. That is the type of thing that she had to say. And I think a video of that nature would have sufficed and would have put a lot of the conspiracy theories to rest. And then she could have followed up with a really nice, very minimally edited video, photograph for Mother's Day. And when I say minimally edited, I'm just talking, you can tinker around with the lighting and, the contrast or the brightness, that kind of thing. But, an unedited pretty much photo would have also helped quell the speculation. So it makes me think about the future of PR and royal communications within Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace as well. I think they are lagging behind. They are very much kind of playing to the old guard, the traditional mainstream media, newspapers, TV outlets, radio stations. And all of those organisations kind of play ball. They all know what the order is. They play ball. Social media is a completely different element. It is a beast. and it is not going to be controlled. What you have to do is reshape the way that you interact with people. People like myself, people, just ordinary people on X or other forms of social media that are going to have an opinion and present their opinions as fact, and people are going to read it and retweet it and all the rest of it. They need to look at how they deal with this type of thing. They need to think about how things appear, how things can be taken. And this is, social media is not a phenomenon that is going to go away. It's only going to get worse. And unless you accept that, I'm not saying that it's necessarily right that people, have all this wild speculation, but I accept that you are not going to stop it. It's not going to happen. You have to play into what is going on. And if you don't, you're going to get left behind, and you're going to have even more situations in the future like this, where the gossip and the rumour and the conspiracy just runs away. You have to be able to nip it in the bud. And I don't think that to do that is to compromise necessarily the never complain, never explain. I actually think it works quite hand in hand. All you have to do is just be a little bit more upfront, a little bit more open, and then do a little bit more follow-up with, some photos or a little bit of video that is well managed and put out there, not just for the mainstream media, but on social media too. And I think that is the way forward, and that is how Buckingham Palace, Royal Communications, Kensington Palace need to go. That is what they need to lean into. The whole, Catherine having her abdominal surgery saga was started off well managed. I think the initial release was good, but there was no follow-up, and we needed a follow-up, mainly because people are concerned about Catherine. Many people are concerned about Catherine and her well-being. So, a lot of it comes from a good place. Quickly going back to the video from the farm shop, a lot of people are saying, what, she was walking very quick, she was carrying bags. Now, we don't know what was in the bag, so it could have been something that wasn't very heavy. And of course, she has had abdominal surgery. It has been a couple of months ago now, so we can only assume that if it was something that was, that had a little bit of weight to it, that she was capable of doing it. Whatever the surgery was, she's capable of carrying a bag, walking at that speed, and it does fit in with the palace's initial statement that said that she would likely be back to duties after Easter. We are fast approaching Easter, so we're getting to the point where we would hope and expect that she can carry a bag from a farm shop. If she wasn't being able to carry a bag from a farm shop, I think we'd have more cause for concern. So rather than looking for the conspiracy in it, I think we need to look at the positive side, that she's able to carry a bag. And that does fit in with the initial statement that was released, saying when she would likely be sort of returning to work in and around or after Easter. So that very, very much fits in. King has also been seen today amid Russian rumours that he had passed away. There was fake stories swirling around social media from Russia, coming from Russia, saying that the king had passed, and that there was this sort of coincided with social media speculation and rumour that there was going to be an announcement that the BBC was preparing for an announcement. That was just a complete fabrication. There is no truth to any of it. The king is most definitely alive. The Russians were just trying to cause some trouble and, whip up a frenzy at a time of great conspiracy. So just be warned what you listen to and what you read. There was pictures going around of flags at half-mast. They were old photos. You've only got to do a picture comparison. There are websites where you can actually put images in and it brings up the same picture elsewhere. So some of these pictures were taken years ago. There's so much conspiracy. The king is most definitely alive. He was seen in his car today. looking still very, very well. I mean, you know, certainly his treatment seems to be going well. He's still got his hair, so I think we can assume at this point that he's probably not having chemotherapy, because I think with all forms of chemo, you lose your hair. I could be completely wrong, but it looks like maybe it's more radiotherapy, perhaps. That is speculation. I am just sort of going by what I am seeing. So he looks okay, he looks well, and he's definitely with us still on the earth. Right, I think that is enough royal stories for today. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and of course do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.